hey, welcome to my desk. Today I'm going to be drawing fish. Okay. So I kind of went back and forth on whether or not I wanted to do this video because I have what I think is like a very healthy fear of the sea and like the oceans. So I don't know, I was practicing like with different types of fish and like just kept like getting freaked out. Like eels are like so scary, and I was like trying to draw them and just being like, I can't. So I tried to find like cuter looking fish, so I wouldn't be as freaked out drawing them. And I'm gonna start with the betta fish, the betta. And this is gonna be, I think, the only domesticated fish I'm gonna draw today. And it's actually the oldest, or one of the oldest domesticated fish that we know of, like historically. And they come from Thailand, and like other South East Asian countries like Malaysia and I think like Vietnam and Cambodia. But yeah, they do exist in the wild there, in like shallow wetlands. But I think that although there's like thousands or like so many betta fish as pets, they're considered like endangered in the wild because of like different factors that are kind of destroying their habitat. And I also read that Prozac, the antidepressant, is like ending up in the runoff in their natural habitat and like affecting their mating habits and like lowering their population in that way, which was like sad to read, and like also such a specific issue. But obviously they are super well known for being beautiful, you know, and coming in all different colors. But they're also known for their incredibly aggressive and territorial nature. In fact, they were kind of bred to be that way. Actually, no. Let me but you still can't have like two betta fish in the same tank because they will fight and kill each other, which is, yeah, pretty intense. Especially for how pretty they are, you know. But it's typically the male that is brighter in color, and the female is like slightly more like desaturated, I guess. And this one's really pretty, honestly. I really like the colors of this, and how it's kind of has this two-tone effect, you know. And I was reading too that the way that they mate is that the male like creates this nest out of bubbles and mucus, which is really weird. And then the female kind of investigates or, you know, inspects it. And if it's to her liking, they mate. And the male fish is actually like turns brighter in that moment, and the female turns darker, you know, just as like a signal or a message for each other, you know, to indicate their interest. I just thought that was kind of cool that they have that kind of camouflage, or not camouflage, kind of the opposite, but, you know, the ability to change their color like that. And obviously they've also been selectively bred to be these bright colors as well. I'm just going in here and adding a little bit of this red and pink color at the edges. I think it's not exactly like the photo, but I just feel like the picture, the drawing needs it. Okay. Oh, actually, I want to add a little bit more of this red here on the tail end of the fish, because it feels like it needs it there too. Okay, so that was the betta fish. The betta fish. And now I'm gonna be doing the clownfish. And I did choose the clownfish because of Finding Nemo. It's a very cute fish. And I did grow up watching Finding Nemo, so, you know, had to make a little shout out there. But I actually read today that the fish in that movie are not actually considered clownfish, anemone fish. So like the biggest characteristic of clownfish, or like the most well-known thing about them, is that they live in anemone. Anemone is like a type of plant life that lives underwater. It's not a plant, but it's kind of like a stable animal that doesn't really move around a lot, and it has these like electric tentacles, and they are like, yeah, they will shock other fish. But clownfish, anemone fish, have like a special mucus on their skin, or their scales, that protects them from the anemone, and they have kind of like a symbiotic relationship. And so the anemone protects the clownfish from predators and other fish And the clownfish, it kind of, preens and protects the anemone from different parasites and stuff like that, and it will just, like make sure that it's in good shape, like the way that a person takes care of their own home, But in this case, it's a living home. So I just thought that was kind of interesting and also kind of scary. But, yeah, I don't know. I think they're cute. And I think I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of this black on the edges of like the white areas, and also the corners of the fins where I've made these little gaps. Yeah, the main thing about clownfish is or one of their visual characteristics are these like 3 white stripes along its body, and also obviously this bright orange. And let me get this face, and yeah, yeah, I think that's good. So that was the clownfish, the clownfish. And I'm gonna draw now the seahorse, And yeah, I just think, yeah, they're cute looking. That's why I picked it. And they don't look like typical fish, but they are considered fish, actually. And they are named seahorses for their long snout-like nose and their upright position that they swim in. And they also use their little curly tails like this to swim. So they move it back and forth to propel themselves either forward or backwards. And then they have like a little pocket of air inside of their gut, or somewhere in their body, that they can either fill or empty in order to raise higher or lower, like to move around vertically. Which, yeah, I guess it's interesting. I don't really want to think too much about that. And they are covered in these scaly or like spiny, like somewhat rough plate-like sections all over their body, and even on their head and up to their tails. And these are kind of like a protective skin barrier to act against, I guess, predators, just to keep them strong. And I think probably the most well-known fun fact about seahorses is that the males carry the children. And they take care of their young instead of the females, which is pretty uncommon in nature. Usually it's the other way around. But basically what happens is the female and the male, when they're copulating, the female will like lean over the male and like lay her eggs directly into the male's abdomen. And that's how he, basically becomes pregnant. And then he keeps it in his abdomen for a period of time. I think I read it was maybe like a month. And then he shoots like air out of his stomach, and they all pop out. And their children are called fry. This is actually similar to clownfish. Actually, the males also are the main caretakers of the offspring for clownfish as well. And I'm just going in with this darker brownish gray just to give some dimension and kind of indicate the surface differences in the skin of the seahorse. Okay, so that was the seahorse. I hope you like that one. Okay, so I'm gonna do one more today, and I'm gonna do the stingray. And the stingray may not look like a fish either, but it is classified as a fish. And there's like so many different species of stingrays and more broadly rays. So I'm not sure exactly which one I'm drawing here, but I did want to draw one from this angle because I just think that it looks really cute. This little face looking thing on the underside of stingrays is just like so cartoony to me. But it's actually not a face. I mean, it is part of a face. So the two dots at the top are the stingray's nostrils, and underneath is its mouth, obviously. And then its gills. And this one is kind of translucent, so you can see kind of its insides a bit. But its eyes are actually on top of its head. So its wings are kind of like, or its fins are basically the full size of its own body. And so that's why it looks like that, even though it's fish. They're actually related to sharks. They're kind of part of the same sort of animal, sort of type of fish. In that they are both without bones. They don't have any bones. Their physical structure is made up of cartilage. So that's why, or I guess, the same as sharks. And I do think about Steve Irwin when I think about stingrays, because that's what took him out, unfortunately. It's funny because he was always putting himself in so much danger, and this cute little, mostly harmless animal was what finally got him. Although not all stingrays have a venomous spine or tail that can kill a human. The type that Steve Irwin was filming the day of his passing, the blue spotted stingray, I think it was, or maybe it was a manta ray. It was poisonous, and that's how we lost Steve Irwin, unfortunately. Yeah, I just decided to do two similar colors here, because they do change color, or they don't change colors, but they match the colors of their surroundings usually, because they bury themselves in the sand to catch prey and also hide from predators. But okay, so that was the stingray, and yeah, that's it. Well, I hope you like this one. Let me know in the comments if you have a favorite fish, or just what you think about fish in general. And I will see you in the next one.